Hello! Hello there. Hello, I don't know if I'm actually streaming or not. I have to kind of wait for my screen to catch up. Oh yes, I seem to be. And now to find out what my volume is like. Hello, I don't know if I'm actually streaming or not. Oh, that sounds fine. Although I can't really tell what the volume of the game is like. It seems that you can hear my voice, so that's good. Now, I suppose I will start telling anybody that this stream is happening. How do I do that? I click that, and I click that. Once again, it's lying about. There's a, for some reason, at some point, somewhere, hello Belugatoons, somewhere in Twitch, in my YouTube live setup, I put a picture of me and Brent at what was then a recent performance that we'd done together. Still there. That's always my thumbnail now. No idea how to change that. Oh dear. Bit of a buffery stream, isn't it? Don't know how well this is going to go. What can I do to improve that, I wonder? Let's have a little look. In my settings. Oh, I'm outputting it at a revoltingly low bitrate already. So I don't really know how I can improve on that. Yeah, sorry, I'm afraid this is just going to be a bit buffery, I suppose. Unless anyone has any tips. Well, if any of you can see me, hello to Agasthia Rana, hello to Jacob Jonkers, hello to Clayton. And hello to Ryan and hello to Jonas. Oh, you're a settler, are you, Jonas? Can you see this stream at all? Someone tell me if you can see the stream, because I can't. Hello, Alex. I am unable to watch this stream. Let me just tell Twitter that I'm doing the stream. Not quite an RTS, wretched child. Are you really a wretched child? Oh, everybody can see the stream. Well, that's all right then. Hang on, though. I'm just typing on Twitter that we're doing it. Settling time. There'll be bunnies and bird song and a break from all the woes of the world. Come here for a good snuggly time. Twitch.tv. Whoops. / Demon Tomato. Dave. I'll tweet that. And then I'll pop into the Discord. At everyone. Yes, at everyone. Sorry, everyone who hates at everyone's. I don't hate them, and it's my server. Ha ha ha. Settling time. A break from all that troubles ye. Okay, so hello everyone. This is a lovely old game. No sample bite, I'm not. It's just that today is the start of the YouTube... Sorry, the start of the Amazon strike. And... the general done thing is not to use Amazon things today if you can possibly avoid it. And Twitch is an Amazon thing, so here we are on YouTube today. Not Warcraft 1, Settlers 2. I guess, yes. Okay, hang on, I'm just going over here for a moment. Just because I am, and it's my prerogative. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish off a cup of tea that I'm making, so how about I take you in there with me, and I'll tell those of you who haven't seen the streams up till now, what's going on. So, for the last couple of weeks I've been streaming this game, The Settlers 2. Years ago, I streamed Settlers 1 a few times, with in mind going through the whole series. and I never managed to do that. Can you still hear me? We're in the kitchen now. I'm making myself a cup of tea. Well, I'm finishing it off. It's mostly made. I'm just putting the milk in. Oh, I better tell Abby to bring some more milk. Hang on a minute. Milk's not off. Hooray! Yeah, so, it's not an RTS. It's something else. And it's a game that I deeply, deeply fell in love with in 1993 when it first came out on the Amiga, the original game. Settlers 2, however, was Windows only, or, well, actually it might have been DOS, but it was PC only, put it that way. Couldn't get it on Amiga. And in those days, basically that was probably the exact point where computers went from like, hey, what computer have you got? Oh, well, I've got an Amiga, I've got a C64, you know, people had old computers still. And then suddenly everything switched and you had to have Windows 95. Of course, some people still had Macs, and that's remained true to this day, but you know what I mean. And of course, this was long before the resurgence in the iMac, which made it kind of acceptable to have one of those. So there was still some hangers-on who already had Macs, but they were a bit like us Amiga fans. That was just the thing they had, and it wasn't really ordinary for them to have it. And the world suddenly turned on to Windows 95, and that's why computers are sort of de facto Windows now, unless you go for a Mac, if you see what I mean. Anyway, it was around that time that the makers of my favourite game, The Settlers, decided that they were going to go PC only with this one because it was more powerful, of course, and you know, people were owning them. And I therefore didn't get to play it for a couple of years until we finally got our first PC. And so I never really quite clicked. I never fully connected with this game the way I did with the beautiful, wonderful, lovely Settlers 1. So for the last couple of weeks I've been trying to remedy that by streaming this, with in mind making my way through the whole series, because I've basically loved all of it, or rather I've played all of it and kind of didn't love quite a bit of it. So here we are in Settlers 2. I guess, well, here's what we're going to be doing. I've been playing it for the last couple of weeks, and I've kind of got stuck when it comes to the fighting. I'm not really entirely sure how it's supposed to work. So what I thought I'd do is we'd go through the campaign, and I would find out exactly how we're supposed to do it, because there's a tutorial involved in the campaign. So I actually know sort of most of what it's going to tell me. But let's do it anyway, eh? Why not? So, to that end, I'm going to quit this, and I am going to begin the Roman campaign, the original campaign for The Settlers 2. Fourth day after shipwreck. Yesterday, all the survivors met in order to discuss the situation. Because there is no prospect of an early rescue, we decided to settle on this foreign island. The items salvaged from the ship will be a great help to us. The most important thing is to make use of the raw materials on the island. Oh, you know what I've gone and done? You know what I've gone and done? I've gone and posted the link to Twitch everywhere. And it's not on Twitch. Silly me! Silly me. So I'll repost the message, and this time I will get the actual link to the video and actually post it. There we go. And then I'll delete the previous one. And then I'll go, everyone, whoops. Of course I'm not streaming on Twitch today. It's YouTube. Here is the real link. Oops. Again I say oops. Let's try this again without the oops. There we go. What a silly man. What a silly man I am. I need to open the windows. It's very, very warm. It's very warm. There we go. That's the window. I have just opened the window. And now this one here. And now I'm all set to come and play some Settlers. Ooh, have I left the door unlocked so that Abby can get in? Yes. Okay. Okay. So then. I'm not aware of what the news is today, because the Settlers is so nice. I think a lot of us have got a bit of a stressful time that we're going through, and so this is the antidote to that. We're going to just be experiencing nice things, and one of the ways we're going to be experiencing the nice things is with the original Settlers music, which is better than the music to this game. There we go. Now I need to know whether or not you can hear me over this music. And that's very difficult to tell when I can't load the stream myself. Or can I? Let's find out. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my headphones on. I'm going to pause that music and listen to my own stream. Hang on a sec. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my headphones on. I'm going to pause that music and listen to my own stream. Hang on a sec. Okay, right, so it seems like I'm going to have to keep my headphones on because it was echoey before. Okay, this is good, isn't it? It's good to see someone completely set up their stream from scratch, as though they've never streamed before, every single time they stream. That's good, isn't it? I bet you like that sort of content. So, the items salvaged from the ship will be a great help to us. The most important thing is to make use of the raw materials on the island in order to establish a settlement. We urgently need accommodations for a woodcutter, carpenter, and stonemason. Build accommodations for a woodcutter, carpenter, and stonemason, and here we are in the game. Now, normally I would just breeze through all of this because I know it off by heart, and other people who've been watching my streams know it too. But you guys don't. So here, some of you who are new to this because this is YouTube and you don't subscribe to me on Twitch, which I think you probably should. Twitch.tv/DemonTomatoDave. See you there. But anyway, which is where I normally stream. Here we have, as you can see, a nice landscape with a little sort of boundary, little border of my land, and in the middle of it, this lovely pixely tent. Now, sorry if I seem to scroll in the wrong direction. I'm going to do that because this is one of those games where you actually scroll in the direction you push, and I'm used to the opposite to that. We're going to need some little fellas, and they are going to need to harvest the lovely spoils of this lovely land, such as trees. Now, can you see that under my cursor here? Little flags and little houses are appearing. Little flags and little houses. Well, what I need to do is find a little house position, and I can cheat by throwing them all out. It's not a cheat. This is I haven't altered the game in any way. This is something you can just do. And there's one, so... but there's one as well, and that's closer to base. So I shall put down here... Oh dear, I'm going to slow my mouse down too much. I'll put down there a woodcutter's hut. Now, as you can see, there's no hut. You may have played some games like, you know, Anno or Age of Empires or things like that, where you put down a house and there just is a house. Oh no, Age of Empires doesn't do this, does it? Age of Empires actually, I think, follows this model where you need guys to actually build the thing you ask for. So, in the Settlers, the way that this happens is you have to connect up the flag with that flag. One flag to another has to be connected up. Now, for some reason, I can't just click on it. Oh, I can. Okay, it's done it automatically. Here are my fellas. That's my builder. As you can see, he's got a little hammer over his shoulder. This is a carrier. He's just going to stand between these two flags. You see these wooden boards that one's put down outside that he's brought in from the HQ there? Well, my carrier, I don't know why I went all the way over there, but my carrier is going to collect them from this flag and take them over to that flag. There it goes. So I can save him a bit of footwork if I put down a flag in the middle. There we go, he's content with that. And now another chap is going to come out and stand between those two flags. And between them, they're going to carry the wooden planks over to this guy. And he's going to build a woodcutter's hut. And when we've got a woodcutter's hat, the woodcutter will have a woodcutter's hat, and he'll live in a woodcutter's hut. And when he has both of those things, he can start woodcutting. Look at the little bunny rabbit. You see that there? Look at him, having a little hop. So, just check I correctly pressed woodcutter. Yes, I did. So now, now I can put down the next thing we need, which is a sawmill to take the trees that he cuts down and turn them into planks, new planks. Now for that, we're going to need... a normal little house space is not good enough. We need a middle-sized house space. The big castle ones, they are for the biggest things we can make, which is mostly farms. And we're going to have some farms. Oh, you bet. We're going to have some farms. Some palms? We're going to have some farms. But right now, all we need is a sawmill. And in fact, it's all we're allowed, because this is the tutorial stroke campaign. So it gradually unlocks the things we can build. I connect it up. Out comes a builder. Sets to work. What else? We've got these stones, so we can pop down a stonemason's hut there, or quarry as it's called in this game, this stupid game, this bad, wrong version of the Settlers. I'm completely brand loyal to the original, that's why we're listening to the music from it. Dee 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 dee. Dee 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 doo doo dee dee. Okay, let's have a look at what's going on in the chat. There's Edoc Vader saying I just tweeted out my Twitch link. Got that way earlier than I did, unless... did I do it again? Did I do it a second time? No. Okay, good. Thank you for spotting that I tweeted that wrong. And it's my fault that I didn't listen to you at all. Agasthia Rana says, oh, I didn't know of a Discord other than the Nerdfighteria one. Oh, yes, Agasthia. Would you like to join us? Hang on a moment, I'll send you a link. Dee 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 dee. Here you go, everybody. Join in. You can go there and be in a new Discord if you like. Everybody's quite nice there. We will kick you out if you're nasty, though, so don't be. Dee 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 dee. Yeah, B-Man, the Amazon workers are on strike, and the best way to support them is because they have absolutely awful conditions. They're right to go on strike. This is, I don't know if you've heard the stories, but it's like the people in their factories, like, they're literally not allowed bathroom breaks, like, ever, so they're coming up with their own methods, and that's just not humane. So, you know, we're supporting them by not using Amazon today, or other Amazon things, and one of those is Twitch. Obviously, it's not going to make a gigantic amount of difference, but one does what one can. Vordox says, great freaking game, Settlers 2! Yeah. Volume's fine, good. Goody good. Had that echo that sounds like he's on a stand-up. Okay. As long as it's not Peter Rabbit. Well, now, Peter Rabbit used to be good. It's only the film that's terrible. I'll stand up for the book. Trashy Bashy, I'm new to the stream. Hey Dave, hello, Trashy Bashy. Trashy Bashy special. What's going on back in Settler Town? Well, they're still building these buildings. It can take them a while. It really can. Oh, but here's our woodcutter, look. He's got his woodcutter's hat, and he's coming out of his woodcutter's hut. And now, he's going to hack at some tree. He's picking a tree now. There he goes. And this is the Settlers, ladies and gents, and other. You, get to actually watch. Is that rude? Should I have not said and other? Sorry if you're of that category and I should have used a different word. Ladies and gents and whoever else you may decide you are or feel you are or find out you are. You get to watch the Settlers do their jobs. and you get to watch them all, and they're all different. There's very little reuse of animation from one settler to the next, and that's part of the joy. Here, look, here comes a stonemason. Now, I wonder if his animation is similar to the woodcutters, but with a pickaxe instead of a, I don't know, axe. Let's see. First he has to go in his house just to establish that it's his. But then out he will come. Here he is. Straight to work with a moi. Nope, that's definitely a different animation. And if I'm not mistaken, yes, the stone pile actually reduces. And there, he's put a little bit of stone, and this guy goes and gets it, delivers it back to the HQ. Meanwhile, here's the sawmill. That seems to be finished now. Oh no, he's putting the last finishing touches on it. And because this is the tutorial, in a minute... Ah, here we are. Exactly what I was expecting. 8th day after the shipwreck. The basic... And it always says that, by the way. The basic requirements for building up our settlement have been met. However, the supply of trees in this region will not last long. We need a forester to ensure a long-term supply of timber. Screaming Man, misleading thumbnail. Is that because the thumbnail is a picture of me and Brent performing? If so, I apologise. I've tried to fix that and I don't know how. Evidently at some point, when I set up my streaming thing, I put that picture there because it was like a recent thing that I was promoting. And I don't know where I did that, and I don't know how to change it. I don't even know. They might even have removed the option by now. Like they've removed, you know, the ability to change annotations on old videos and things like that. Sorry about that. Evening Sloth. Oh, hi, Soda Arts Productions. Yeah, you're right. And Rico Luco says, "Go, go, go, Dave. Go, 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 Dave. Go, 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 Dave. Go, 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 Dave." And I'm going to build a forest, so that's where I'm going to go. Here we go. I am in a minute. I am now. Right, what was I going to do? Yeah, forester. Did I just do it? Did I just accidentally build a forester? Yes, hooray! Great. Best case scenario. I accidentally played the game successfully without even looking and while tabbed out. How exciting. And now we start to see our settlement beginning to begin. Is it going to allow us any other buildings at this early stage? Let's find out. Nope. Nope, it really is limiting what we can do. So let's speed the game up a little bit. There's only a certain amount you can do that. And while we wait, may I recommend having a biscuit and a cup of tea. I'm going to have a biscuit now. It's a hobnob. I'm taking it out of a little biscuit tin. Here's the noise of the biscuit tin. Hang on. Hang on. Ah! I dropped the lid. There we go. I've put the lid on. It's only a little biscuit. It's like a miniature biscuit tin the size of a biscuit. Well, the size of a stack of biscuits. But not a packet of biscuits. It's about the size of a third of a packet of biscuit. Which is why I've got 3. Well. Hobnob update. I just ate my first bite of hobnob. And part of it went flying onto the floor. And it's gone under an open drawer. If I close the drawer, that might sweep the piece of hobnob further into the furniture. Let's find out. No, it didn't. I've managed to retrieve the hobnob from the floor and put it in the bin. So there we go. Dum-zum-de-dum-zum-dummy-dum. Will you and Brent ever perform ever again? Sample bite. The minute we are both in the same place, we will. It's just that he's not invited to the UK often, and I'm never invited to the America ever. Ali says, this looks like the kind of game I'd enjoy. Yeah, it's... Whoa! What is this? Different Amiga music. Yeah! Woo! Yeah. Yeah, it's lovely, and that's why I started playing it. And then it's really, really Moorish, and you kind of get clicking, and you get into it. What are we listening to here? First Samurai main theme. Well, that's not really suitable for this. So let's just go back to the Settlers music, which is suitable for this, because it's the music for this, sort of. Okay. We're still not sure, he says. Throw a mouthful of biscuit. Look at that, is he just holding his sword in his hand? That's dangerous, don't do that. You silly. You silly... with your silly face. Your wreath of hair that you've got. That somehow sticks really far forward off your head. 11th day of the 2nd month after shipwreck. We're still not sure whether we're the only people on this. How have they managed to last 2 months? With, like, no food and just a woodcut. Oh, I suppose they've got some in the HQ. We're still not sure whether we're the only people on the island. As a precautionary measure, we should erect a barracks on our exposed border towards the interior of the island. Build a barracks. And what the game is trying to tell me here... Oh! Our territory is spread as far as the mountain in the north. Our geologist will carry out a land survey there. In the long term, we need fuel and building materials, as well as weapons and coined gold. We must therefore find a source of iron ore, gold, coal, and granite. Build a road to the mountain, and send your geologist there. Alright, I will. So, in this game, this tutorial is telling us, we expand our borders by putting knights' huts down. Or in this game, they're called barracks, because this game got all the words wrong. So, we build the barracks, then we put a flag in the mountains, and what we do is we click that flag. As you can see, it's all about flags and roads, this game. Click that flag and we send a geologist, and while we're at it, we send a scout as well. Now maybe I'm preempting it, because maybe the game will teach me about scouts in a minute, but whatever, let's just preempt it. Here's, I think this is our scout here. Look, he's got his little raccoon hat on. Can't really see that it's a raccoon hat from that angle, but it is. You just trust me. And here is our geologist, a man who, as I've previously established, I don't know whether he has some sort of helmet on or a big white beard. I think it's a big white beard. But when I was a kid, I wasn't sure if it was one of those, you know, like a welding mask that, you know, you may well use when you're geologizing about in the mountains and sort of digging around. You know, you might want to protect your face in some way, but you see what I mean? It kind of looks a bit like Shredder's mask, but I think it's probably a beard. And there goes our scout, and look, as you can see, he is uncovering land, clearing away that fog of war. Oh. Oh, good. We found iron ore, and are now able to produce weapons. There are now no obstacles to further exploration of the island. First, we must construct both an iron mine and an iron smelter. An armourer can then start to produce swords and shields. We must also provide the miners with food. Our stocks are almost exhausted. We need hunters and fishermen. So, build an iron man, iron smelter and armory, and hunters and fishermen. Okay. And eat biscuit. Well, there's a little rabbit. So we know that that's sort of generally in range of where a little rabbit is. Can't put a hut down there, though. Too many trees. But the rabbit seems to come this far. So let's put a hunter there. Connect it up. So we're going to have some food. And also, we'll have a fisherman down there. So we should be sorted for food. So now we just need to wait until our knight's hut is built. And then we'll have more land. Or will we? No, we won't, because there's one more thing that has to happen. Once a knight's hut is built, before our borders can expand. And if you've been here before, or if you've played this game before yourself, then you know what that thing is. And we're about to see. Because once a knight's hut is built, which it now is, we need a knight. A little knight to move in. Ah, he's having to go quite a long way round, which is silly, isn't it? So how about we cut that, join that up to there, and that up to there. That makes more sense. So he would have just been able to go straight up there now. Oh good, that didn't stop him building whatever that was. I can't remember. Let's look it up. It's a hunter. Yes, that's right. So our knight moves in to his lovely little new house, and that gives us more land. There we go. So now We can actually build on the mountain. Oh, our geologist has found a spring. We're now able to supply fresh water to our settlement. Well, good. That is important. So, let's do that. Hopefully that's close enough to it. There we go. We've got a well now. Nice, isn't it? Now let's have a flag deeper in the mountain. Whoops. Dee 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 dee. Do do dee do 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 do. Okay, what's going on in the chat? Ooh, did you hear that? A cool dude went past. Mega Man 87 says my birthday will be tomorrow, and Breath of the Wild on Switch will be mine. Yes, yes, yes. What is your opinion on what place that Breath of the Wild's timeline plays? Oh, I haven't the foggiest, I'm afraid. No, I absolutely don't know. That stuff got way too complicated for me almost from day one. I've got the Hyrule Historia, but obviously that predates Breath of the Wild, and I haven't really memorized it, so I don't know. I'm open to suggestion, really. Ryan Polton just says settlers, smiley face, and I couldn't possibly agree more with a human's statement than that. Dave, what's your favourite Mario game? Ooh, Galaxy. Ah, is that true? I only really thought about the 3D ones. I mean, in my heart of hearts, it's Yoshi's Island. Does that count? If not, then it's a toss-up between 3 and World, and who wins, 3 or World? No, I can't. I honestly have had as much of a good... And 1? And 2? No, I can't. They're all great, except for the ones that I'm not particularly into, such as Sunshine. And, if I'm honest, and 64. I'm not that into it. Like, don't get me wrong, love it. Great memories of it. Had a great time with it when it was new. But now... I couldn't play it now, I don't think. Dum-dee-dee-dum-dum-da. Sorry, El Tristo. Honestly, I wish I knew how to change that. And if anybody knows, tell me and I will. Jess Session says, Dave's favourite Mario game is the Super Mario Brothers movie. That is 100% accurate. Never been to one of your streams live before, says PS3 TNA157. Oh, that's nice. Hello. Welcome. That's probably because you're not subscribed to me on Twitch, so that's what you're going to want to do. Go over to twitch.tv/DemonTomatoDave and is the word subscribe? I don't want to say that because I know that there's a word that means pay me money, and I'm not asking you to do that. Isn't there on Twitch? You can subscribe to someone in a way where you have to pay for it, and that's... I don't know what the point of that is. Well, I do. It's to support people that you're into, and then they can be a professional streamer. But I'm not a professional streamer. I do have a Patreon if anybody wants to support me on there, and you get to hear 50 minutes of songs you haven't heard before, like all the live songs that I do, but like studio recordings of them all, if that's the right word for it. You know, the extended version of Theme from the Dark World and Mario Land without lyrics and things like that. So if you want that, patreon.com/DemonTomatoDave, but don't feel obliged. Dave, what is the song you are most proud of, stroke favourite? Mine is It Doesn't Make Sense. Oh, is it really? Gosh. I'm going to have to redo that one soon. We've ensured a fuel supply for the metalworks by finding coal in the Western Mountains. Now we can process our metal ores without any problems. Everything's going extremely well. Good news if you're into It Doesn't Make Sense. I've actually started work on a kind of sequel to it, which some of you will have heard a work in progress version of. There's another Mario tune that lends itself to that sort of nonsense lyrics writing, so... And indeed, as a teenager, me and my brother did come up with some silly lyrics for it, so I'm currently working on that, so... Well, I'm not working on it very hard. I'm currently working on a Doctor Who cover. Do-do-do-do-do. Yum-yum-yum. Biscuit. Yum-yum-yum. Biscuit. Okay, so I've put another Knight's Hut down there, because we need to claim this bit of land in order to build a coal mine. Who said the thing about Mario? Jesse Session, yeah. Do we know one another? Because you know me so well. Deep beep 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 boop boop beep boodle beep beep boop boop beep boop. Beep beep doop 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 boop deep boop. What's the song you're most proud of? Honestly, it's a song you might not have heard. It's called Hey Hey, It's the Internet. Which you can find again on the Patreon, or sort of wait millions of years until I find a way of making a video for it. Or come to my live show. Theoretically, I'm performing at Alcon in Leicester on the, I think it's the 2nd of September. I believe I'm on the Sunday. Although a spanner has been thrown into the works of that when I found out today that I don't have a lift there. Usually, you know, my wife can come with me and will drive me there. She's unavailable this time to do that, so I mean, that's alright, I can drive. But I've never driven there, and in fact, it would be the longest drive I've ever done, because I've never driven so much as on a motorway. I've been able to drive for years, but whenever we go on a motorway, Abby does it, because she likes it. She likes driving on motorways. I'm kind of scared of it, so I've never done it. So I kind of have to learn in the next couple of weeks, or, you know, I won't be able to go, so I'm not sure what's going to happen there. But, nevertheless, theoretically, I'm down to do a live performance, and I will be singing Hey Hey, It's the Internet there. And the reason I'm proud of it is it's an original song that I wrote, and I'm completely happy with it. You know, it's not based on a game tune or anything, and it's kind of good. DLC guy says, why are you streaming on YouTube instead of Twitch? Well, the answer is that there is Amazon, you know, as in Amazon the website, is run by one of the richest people in the world. He's really one of the richest men in the world, and but he doesn't really pay his staff enough for them to live, and also, like, their workload is just ridiculous. They're not allowed bathroom breaks during the day, and they don't have normal break. You know what I mean? It's just awful, their working conditions, and they all absolutely hate it. So they're on strike, and so to support that, we're trying to not use Amazon stuff today and for the next 2 days. Basically, the 3 Prime days. When I don't even know what the promotion is. Something to do with Amazon Prime is happening, and over those days is when the strike is, and it's also when we're doing a bit of a boycott of Amazon services. So, Twitch is an Amazon thing, so you know they've bought it. So I'm not using Twitch for that reason, and also because now and then it's nice to just get to basically the only people who come to my Twitch streams are people who are already subscribed to my Twitch streams. If I stream on YouTube now and then, randomly loads of other people find out that I stream, and mostly every time I do it I get people saying like, oh, I didn't even know you do streams, and it's like, well, yes I do. You need to be on Twitch, and honestly follow me on Twitter, that's where I announce everything I'm doing. I'm Demon Tomato Dave everywhere. Okay, so now we've got this bit of mountain, we can have that coal mine, so there it is. Oh, I almost forgot. We need an iron smelter. Now, ideally, our iron smelter would be near this flag. No, sorry, this flag. Wait, where's that connected up to? Oh, it goes around there. Okay, so yeah, so this flag. But there's... shall I use this? Yeah, go on, okay. It's quite far away, though, isn't it? Can I do better than that anywhere? Not really, no. Would this be closer or not? Can I do that up to there? Yeah. It's about the same, isn't it? Okay, so I'll put the smelter down here. Iron smelter there. Okay. I'll dig that road up. Connect that to there. That to there. And then over here, just near it, we'll have an armory to use the iron what has been smelted. Okay. Yum yum. Biscuit. Yum yum yum. There we go. I've now eaten a biscuit. Okay. So, you're already beginning rather to see what the Germans call Wuselfaktor. This is a German game. And that word, I mean, you can tell just by listening to it, it translates to bustle factor. A thing that the settlers introduced to the world of gaming, and at least for a while, among sort of hardcore PC people, it was a gaming term over there, you know, with as much familiarity as loot crates and the like. And that was because a lot of games followed the settlers' model, including Age of Empires and various other things where loads of little fellas are walking around. Oh, look at this one here. Drawing water from the well. One of my favourites was called Baldies. Unfortunately, Good Old Games doesn't have Baldies, or I would buy it and stream it. But it's kind of like a joke version of this. Let's get rid of all these messages, we don't need them. In fact, there's not much we need at this stage, so... Shall I even bother to build another barracks? Let's see. Where's our stock? There it is. Oh dear, we got no wood. Oh dear, we've got one wooden plank. Oh dear. That is crisis time. Why haven't we got any wood? There's a woodcutter. There's some wood. Get on with it, you. Hey, you. Get on with it. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to click on him. And we're going to observe him. There we go. We now have an observation window. So I can go away and just play the game. And the observation window will carry on showing us this guy. I think I'll put him down there. No, I never knew that Twitch was owned by Amazon either. Sloth says, Dave, if I was to bring some books to Alcon to lend you, would you read them? It's the books I've mentioned once or twice in Hangouts. Delta request. Well, difficult to say. My answer is basically that I'd be up for it. But I also sort of don't want you to, because I don't know if I'll ever see you again. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, to give you the books back. There's no guarantee that I'll be at the next Alcon. You know, I don't even know. So we can't reliably say that I'll borrow something you own and then give it back at a certain time. So it's best if I just find a cheap paperback of it on eBay and, you know, and get that, I guess. Yeah, no, I'm loath to borrow something that from someone who I only see once a year and maybe and that's maybe, you know? Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be rude. And I'm also not saying I wouldn't read the books, it's just that... Do you know what I mean? Woo. Do 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 do. Yeah, see, that sounds better to me. I think I should do that. Do bum 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 bum. Jess session. Is it Jess or is it Jess or is it Jessie? Says one glance at your Twitter will clue anyone in on that, Dave. Yep, fair play. That is true. So Sloth says, I love Hey Hey this internet. Thank you. Me too. Me too. I like it. You know, I don't always, when I make something, I don't always love everything I make. But that one I think is good, especially the bit where most of the music kind of drops out and you've just got the bass line going. I think that bit works really well because it's kind of a funny bass line. Anyway, But it's funny, but it's also like a good bass line. It's really catchy. Yeah, I like that song. No, I never knew Twitch was owned by Amazon. A statement I feel as if I already made a minute ago. But yeah, I found out today. Or was it yesterday? Well, whenever. Okay, so there's a lot of waiting in this game, as you can tell. Now what are our stocks like? Still no wood and only 2 planks. This is not good enough. I'm gonna need another woodcutter, but for that, I'm gonna need some more planks. Bum 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 bum. Do 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 do. Up here would be a good place. Oh wait, that's where I've already got him. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's a very small map, and there's only so many trees. Well, look. How about we just put another one down? Let's have 2 woodcutters in the same place. Why not? Oh dear. Oh, that's rubbish. Right. Can anything be done? Boop boo boop boo. That's the best I can do. Why can't I connect that to that? Oh, because I'd have to go through that tree. Alright, well, maybe he'll cut down that tree, and then I can. I don't think much of this observation window. It waits until he goes indoors and then locks on his house. That's no use. Oh, look! Here's a man carrying a fish. It's a massive fish. What size is that? It's the size of a settler. Here is our forester, going out with his spade to plant more trees for the woodcutters to dig up. Let's watch him do it. Bum, 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 bum. Sorry if my mic has gone out of sync with the music. Look at this. This needs to connect, doesn't it? Can I do that? Bum bum ba bum 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 beep 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 boo bum bum. Let's wait for him to go up there, and then let's see what we can do about this road. Oh, it's fine. Doesn't matter. Bum ba 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 da bum 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 da bidda doop doop doo diddle diddle dee bum 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 bum. Dum da da dum 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 da da dee dee dee. In my mind, says Corbined, Settlers look way better than it does right now. Honestly, in mine, it looked worse. I was a fan of Settlers 1, which obviously doesn't look as good as this. But I think it does, because I wasn't a fan of all these straight edges, you know? Settlers 1 was a lot more kind of lumpy bumpy. But this is growing on me. And of course at the time it was, you know, this counted as high def back then. However, the games get nicer and nicer and nicer and nicer as time goes on. Or rather, as I've previously explained, they get less nice, and then slightly nicer, and then much less nice, and then absolutely flipping amazingly lovely, and then absolutely flipping amazingly lovely. And I shall be taking you through that. Oh, alright, fair. Whoops, shouldn't have done that. Caused myself grief, never mind. What I meant to do is save game. There we go. So, now I've got all this space, but is it going to let me put anything in it? Am I allowed any farms yet? No. I've got all of these. Okay, so that space is just going to go to waste for now. Hey Dave, sorry if you get bogged down with questions about this. I know what you're going to ask. Could I ask about the whereabouts of... Yeah. Basically, I did make that video, and then my hard drive died and I lost all the footage. And I just haven't had the strength since, you know? It's one of those things where I'm like, I mean, what more is there to say? But yeah, you do deserve another part. Actually, there is more to say, in fact. Do you know what? There's loads more to say. What am I on about? Yeah, I do need to make that video. And the only reason I haven't is that basically all my time has been taken up with other things. I'm recording new songs for my performance in September, and I am writing a novel. that's basically where I've disappeared off to, if you've been wondering why I don't make many videos anymore. I disappeared off to write a novel, and that's what I've been doing. I was doing some of that just earlier this afternoon before this stream. In fact, I was still in the cafe writing it when I announced the stream. It's going rather well. But, no, you're right. I want to go back to making videos. I haven't done any in a while. I'm working on one. There's one that I'm doing right now, which is like a big one about an animated... I won't go into more detail than this. An animated film came out. It won the BAFTA award that year for like British animation. It was a smash hit, runaway success. It was the highest selling VHS tape of the year it came out in the UK. It's a British film. Super popular. And yet, also, from the moment it came out up till today, it was a laughingstock, and it was called well, it's like a blunder. People think of it as something that should never have been made, that was an embarrassment. How does that happen? And that's what I'm making a video about. And it's an incredibly tedious video to make for various reasons. I'm having to look through extremely unpleasant things on YouTube because I have to touch on the subject of... I don't know if you saw an article a year or two back where someone found out that there were all these incredibly disturbing children's videos on YouTube, and that they all seem to be made by bots. I'm touching on that, so I have to kind of like look at them and put clips, and I hate them, so it's difficult to do that. But honestly, I think I've already done that bit, so I don't know what my big problem is. Why aren't I working on videos? Because every day I go out and I write this novel, and it's a shame that it takes up so much of my brain and so much of my time, but it does. And I just really want to. It's like I've wanted to write a novel. I did a degree in creative writing, and I always was going to be a novelist. And then, you know, I mean, who doesn't think they're going to write a novel at some point? So that's hardly... But then the thing is, I was trained to do it, and I was good at it. And well, I don't know about writing novels, but I was good at writing. And then I just stopped doing it because everyone thinks they can write a book, and I just started thinking, you know, who am I to think I can be a writer? And I was like, wait, no, hang on a minute. I was made capable of being a writer. Like, they built me to be one, so I'll do it. So I'm writing this book, and it's great. I'm having a really good time. I mean, there's problems with it. There's some structural problems with it that I'm having to address at the moment. Well, no, I'll address them in the next redraft, but the actual book itself, like, seems to be kind of quite good and a good thing. So, you know, but it does mean it's taking me away from other stuff that I could be doing. And that is a shame. I mean, such as a comic that I'm drawing. Let me show you that, actually. Dee 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 bum diddle dee diddle dee dum diddle diddle bum dum dum dwiddle dee dum twiddle dee dum dee 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 diddle dee do do dee do 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 bum 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 bum. Have I got Manga Studio on this obs? Yes, hang on. Oop. There we go. See if I can shrink that down to a more manageable size so you can see it. Yeah, this is a page I'm working on of this comic at the moment. This panel here has been absolutely kicking my ass for days and days and days and days. Just because look at the odd perspective I've got going on. These buildings receding into the distance, but also kind of bending. And then this with back the... Can you see my cursor or not? I don't know, but the buildings at the back, which are sort of explicitly, they exist on a different perspective than the rest of it, and that's deliberate. But the bit that, honestly, that really got me was this sloping roof on the building on the right. I couldn't get it to work in the perspective. It took me absolutely ages, because I had the building and so on. As you can see, this is a fairly involved page. It's a scene setting page, and I've actually used The panel at the top, the establishing shot at the top, is from an old version of this same comic that I drew years and years ago when I wasn't very good at it, but I actually think I did quite a good job at this establishing shot, so I'm using that. And then the second shot was for a previous version of this page, which I've since thrown out and reconceived as like 2 or 3 pages. And yeah, so I'm having a bit of trouble drawing this page. It's taking a while. But it's coming along, and that's another thing where I'm like, yeah, here's another big project that I'm working on. So I'm like working on my comic, I'm working on my novel. And it doesn't leave a lot of room for making videos when that's really what I perhaps ought to be doing. Anyway, let's see. Oh, I've been there, says Stiktar. After all that progress, it's hard to justify starting from the ground up again. Sorry to hear. Good luck with the novel. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I was telling you about the part 5. So that's all. I just kind of got disheartened and was just like, oh, I don't want to. And that's still in me. But honestly, I get messages nearly every day from people asking for it. So like, I kind of want to do it. The only trouble is I've had past experience with this. A lot of people ask me like every day for years where Mario Land without lyrics was, and I put it up for $1. And nobody wanted it. So it's like, well, that's not quite true. But, do you know what I mean? It makes me feel as if the fact that people always ask, they're then still not going to know when I have put it up, because YouTube's algorithms have sort of have been fiddled about with so much that people kind of don't know when you upload a video anymore. This is the same reason why Brent has slowed down making videos, and he works on other stuff instead, his game and podcasts. Is because YouTube's algorithms have changed so much that, like, nobody knows when you make a video these days, even if they're actively interested. And you still get messages saying, like, why are there no more videos from you? And you're like, there are. For instance, if you didn't know, if you don't recognise this game, it means you probably haven't seen my video called Learning to Settle. And it's a bit old now. I think it's from the end of 2016, maybe, but... do go on my YouTube channel and search for Learning to Settle, or just, Google it, Demon Tomato Dave Learning to Settle. It's a video where I use this game, or rather the first Settler, this is Settlers 2, the first Settlers, and I compare it with another game, which is a sort of in the same sort of genre, called Anno, and I use them to examine different mindsets about Brexit. So it's a bit political, but it's mostly just about these 2 games. I only kind of come round to the Brexit thing right at the end, and I think by that time I hope I've made my point and it's interesting, and it's not, I don't then go like, and now a load of politics. I just kind of go, and that's a bit like Brexit because of this, and then that's the end of the video, So that's called Learning to Settle. And then also, if you haven't seen it, I've done a video called Dave's First Game, which, if you go on my Twitter, is my pinned tweet, is a link to it. So twitter.com DemonTomatoDave, or search YouTube for Demon Tomato Dave First Game. Dave's First Game. And, yeah, it's a video about the first video game I ever had. And it's quite involved. I really get quite deep into it. And I think you're going to like it, because I try and recreate in your head what it feels like, or what it felt like to play a game at that time, and not be concerned about the graphics being bad because you thought they were amazing. Oh, Jesse Sessions disappeared. I usually try and say goodbye to everyone, but I suspect it's too late in that particular game. In that particular case, 8-Bit SF says, Dave, if you were to be making a platform game, what would you want in it? I am going to pass on that, and if you ask me privately, I'll tell you why. Kairu says, all that weird Indian stuff. What? Yeah, I know what it's like having a project you fill all your other time with. Then again, I don't have an audience. Aw. Starfox the Killer says, you're my fave, Dave. Oh, thanks. What weird Indian stuff? I've forgotten what we were talking about. Agastya. Am I saying Agastya Rana right? I can't be. That must be wrong. Tell me how to pronounce it. Says, that's awesome. I mean, the novel coming together. Thank you. Hopefully you're going to like it. Can't see your cursor. but ouch, I hate perspective. Always loved your art style, says 8-Bit. Star Fox, thanks very much. Did you know there's a Japanese wizarding school near Iwo Jima on a South Island from there? They are close to a Muggle airbase, and they better watch it while playing Quidditch. No, I didn't know that, Mega Man 87. Kyrie says, I've never understood people who use the bell for that. For years, I only used the bell for comments. Then they changed it so it didn't work properly. Oh. What, when... What do you mean, people who use the bell for what? I use the subscriptions page to see if videos happen. Oh, I see. Yes. Me too, so I don't really know... see, this is the thing. I don't really understand what the problem is. I just know it's a problem. But then on occasion videos don't appear there. That's the thing. Ah, thanks, Sticktar. I'm making a second one. I've written most of the script for it. I know the gist of it. It's a difficult one because... when I'm talking about my second game, I'm also going to go quite deep into an interesting, well, I think it's interesting, you may not, thing that I have and that I do in order to remember parts of my life that I've otherwise forgotten, which all came out of a feeling I had one day when I was remembering Chucky Egg, which is the second game that I'm going to be covering. So, it's going to be a strange one, and I'm trying to figure out how to, like, stitch the two things together, or whether I should maybe just not bother and just cut back and forth between, like, now I'm talking about this, and now I'm talking about Chucky Egg. We'll see. Kyrie says, when I first saw Mario 1 on the NES, I was like, you're controlling a cartoon art! Oh, I know exactly what you mean, although, you know, for me it went back further than that. Well, no, it probably actually didn't. It probably, Mario 1 was probably already out, but I just, you know, it wasn't the first game I personally experienced. Last day of the 8th month after coming ashore. There is an open, fertile plain to the north of our new border post. This will provide lots of new opportunities for expanding our settlement, but we need more soldiers to do this. Continue expanding the border. Well, I think you'll find... Yes. After advancing further north, we've finally found enough space to construct larger buildings and farms. We now intend to search for raw materials in the surrounding mountains. Search for new raw materials and secure a supply of food. Explore the entire island. Alrighty. So, let's put a flag as high up as we can. There, let's say. Oh dear. Oh, I just got a little sudden bit of sadness in my head and in my heart because... it's looking likely that I'm not going to be able to go and see Return to the Forbidden Planet next month. If you are, or can get to, the south of England in the month of August, between the 9th of August and the end of the month, Return to the Forbidden Planet is playing in Eastbourne at the Devonshire Theatre, I think is the name of it. Look it up. And it is that show that I told you about, the one that I got married at. That's one of the better times you're going to have in a theatre, and yet costs a tiny fraction of the cost of a Hamilton. Is it... I will not go as far as to say that it's better than Hamilton, but what I mean by that is Hamilton is far better written. But Return to the Forbidden Planet is a more viscerally fun experience. And it only costs 20 quid. So if you can get down there, you kind of owe it to yourself. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have a look for my video, Cardboard Box Wipeout. Enjoy a song you may not have heard from me before, in which I play Wipeout on a cardboard box, and then you can follow the links at the end to listen to me explain what that was all about. And I will tell you about the show Return to the Forbidden Planet, and then you might even watch a video of the night that we went to it, which was our wedding day, and what happened then to do with it. And by the end of that, you might find yourself wanting to see the show, which you can do. Just take my word for it here and now. Book tickets. Right, it's right. And when I say the south of England, I don't mean London. I mean the actual southeast south of England. I think it's on the coast. Eastbourne. I don't know much about Eastbourne, but it seems to be on Google Maps. Oh, right, yes, of course. The weird Indian stuff was the strange children's videos. Yes, that's right. Oh, here's Wagyu. Hello, Wagyu. Videos should always appear in the subs page, but they can appear out of order. I think if it was uploaded private, then later made public, or scheduled to go live. Ah. How involved are you planning on making the Dave's 10th game series? Oh, X game series. Looking forward to number 17. Actually, as a matter of fact, I do have a list. Well, it's not so much like a list of videos I want to make, so much as it's a list of like what I think the games that I had were. Let's see if I can find it. And I can tell you what number 17 probably is. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Ha 17's a good one. It's Zub. Z-U-B. A very good game. A very good game. By the Pickford brothers. 8-bit Star Fox. Yes, me too. It's many, many hours away for me. I'm probably going to have to catch the train. All I can say is if you can possibly wrangle it. Obviously, you know, you'd have to convince your parents, because I know you're not a super old person. And I don't know what they're like, so I don't know what they like. But they seem alright. So they'd probably love it, but of course it's not reasonable of me to say that another person's parents should up and take them to Eastbourne to watch a show. All I can say is that it would be really good if you happen to have family there that you might tie in a visit with or something like that. But no, don't listen to me. Hey, who knows? It might be successful. They might tour it. There's no mention of that at the moment, but it could happen, couldn't it? It happened last time. Although last time it was oh, we've discovered a gold vein and can now produce valuable coins in a mint. Great. This will make life here almost as comfortable as at home. Yeah, last time it started off at the Queen's Theatre in Hornchurch, which is where it's basically the home of Return to the Forbidden Planet and of the cast who were in it. Oh, by the way, I don't know anything about this production. Like, I've seen bad productions, but I'm fairly convinced this is going to be a good one because it's got the right cast in it, which suggests it's, you know, even if the director was an idiot, I don't know who the director is, the cast would probably go, oh, excuse me, sir, we know better ways of doing this. So I can't vouch for this production, but I can vouch for all the people in this production, including, and perhaps I ought to say especially, Matt Devitt, who is the actual, like, he's been the sort of co-director of the whole thing time and time again. He's the musical director, and it's the whole thing of it is that it's about, it's not, technically it's a musical, but you think of a musical as usually there's a band hidden away in the orchestra pit and actors on stage. This is a band who, while playing songs, there's a plot. Which I understand is a gimmick that's been embraced since by the Aquabats. I haven't seen them live, but I understand that they do something that's kind of Forbidden Planet-y. And they got it from this. Return to the Forbidden Planet is set on a spaceship. You are the passengers on this spaceship. And, you know, the stage is basically like the bridge. But there are musical instruments hidden all over it. Or not so subtly hidden. There are 2 engines, which are just drum kits. Things like that. And the cast all, like, move around the stage doing all this complicated choreography. They're rushing from, like, you know, control deck to control deck. But as they go, they'll pick up a trombone and they'll start playing. They'll do a guitar solo. It's all the ability to join in with the music is choreographed as tightly, more tightly than the rest, than like just the normal like moving about. So what you've got is this group of musicians who can all pick up and play like multiple instruments each, surprising you at every turn with what they can do. There'll be a guy who was the bassist on the last song. He'll just sit down and be the drummer on this song, and they'll do that all the time so that, you know, different ones have different, you know, the characters do different things, and maybe they were the captain. There's one point where the captain, who's like on stage a lot of the time as a main character, nevertheless he'll be playing the guitar a lot of the time as he talks. He then sits down and plays the bass while someone else does a guitar solo. There's a fire-breathing roller skating robot who in this production is played by the best guy who ever played him ever. He was the first one I saw, but don't let that be it. He was also like the middleest one that I saw. I saw him in 2002. He's amazing then. He's back doing it now, and he there's a man on the roof near me who I've just waved to. He pretended not to have seen. What he plays the trombone among other things, so you'll often see him just getting on with a bit of tromboning. Anyway, it's really good. Go and see it, everybody. Have we got a David Cameron running off with pigs? Not yet, but let's set that up now. Oh no, we can only do wheat farms in this level, I'm afraid. Alright, well, let's do that. Oh no, actually, I have a vague memory that in a minute it does let us do a pig farm. We'll have a wheat farm there, and I've put it down here because you need lots of space around a wheat farm. Although you also do need bakeries and things, so let's connect that up. Oh, it's not letting me have that yet, so we'll just have the farm. Fair enough. And here's Abby. Hang a moment. I'll just go and let her in. Ook. She can, you know, she's got a key. She can get in, but it's just nice, isn't it, to go and let your wife in. Here I go. Hello. They're having a lovely reception. Yes. Yes. You want to join us? Oh dear, you're tangled in my hand. Yes. Yes, you shall. Yes, well it is. I've been at the cafe doing some writing, but a bit today.
Hello.
Can you hear her from there? Okay. Oh, yes, gosh. Actually, Abby, I've already got a cup of tea, but I'll make you one. But it needs heating up. I'm going to put it in the microwave.
Hello, everyone.
Microwave. This is Abby. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
There'll be some people you don't know because I'm streaming on YouTube today because we're boycotting Amazon and they own Twitch.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So have you been Amazoning all day?
No, I haven't actually.
Frittering away all your money.
No.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're boycotting it today because they treat their workers terribly and
They do.
there's a boycott on.
Boo.
Biddly boo! Okay, what else have we got?
Those lovely chaps deserve much better.
Yes. Edo Logic says, "Oh man, I can finally catch it live, haha. Do you mean this stream, or do you mean Return to the Forbidden Planet?" Ryan Poulton says, "Aha, I finally have sound." Oh well, that's good. Kairu says, "My dad would love going to a rock and roll show with me." Crying face, he took me to a Beatles tribute band when I was a babby. Oh dear, Kairu. I assume this is not a situation for me to say, why not go? It sounds like that's not the story here. I'm terribly sorry to hear that. I think when I can afford to go to the show, I'll take my niece to see it. She was captivated by your video. Oh, Ryan, that's the best. It is only running for 3 weeks, so you're going to have to get a move on, I'm afraid. We're not sure if it's coming back again after this. But then again, in 2015, everybody was fairly convinced that it wouldn't come back. And one of the people who was fairly convinced was its creator and director, Bob Carlton, who has sadly died. Whether he knew it was coming back before that happened or not, I do not know. I will ask. I know 2 members of the cast, the robot and the cook. Belugatoon says, "We have liftoff!"
Are you getting somewhere on this level?
Do you know what? I was getting so confused about how the fighting works that I've started the tutorial level instead
Good idea.
because then it'll teach me. Various people saying hello, such as 8-Bit Star Fox and Wagyu.
Hi, Wagyu.
How often do you stream? Says Ikhtar. Just honestly, whenever I think of it. But in the last couple of weeks, it's been every 3 or 4 days because I'm into Settlers right now. Yeah.
I think we should stream more.
Sebastian Avila says, or rather, Sebastian Avila says, hi! Hello, Sebastian Avila. Unless you were talking to Abby, in which case, fine. Be that way. And Max is here. Hello, Max. Oh, look, loads of trees over here. So let's have a wood... Ah, ha, ha, look what I'm about to do to myself. If I put a woodcutter there, I'm not going to be able to build a path. Oh, yes, I am. All right, then. And then the other thing... No, there isn't another thing. I keep forgetting this is a restricted tutorial level, so I don't have all the build... Abby?
Yes.
I've left my tea in the microwave. Would you mind?
I'm going to go pour mine.
Thank you. Oh, hooray! Good news! Kairu's dad remains living. He's just far away. Oh, you're right. So this is taking a long time to build, isn't it? And if my Amiga settling day memories
Might be very hot.
are accurate, it's because we've completely run out of wood. Oh no, we've got some now. Great. So it's just taking a long time. Oh, because I guess we need stone for this. Are we running out of that? I didn't think to check. No, we've got millions of them. You know, stone, them. We could always do with some more, so let's have another stonemason's hut. Or quarry, as this ridiculous game insists on calling it. Alright, well. All we can do really is sort of muck about. I'll send a geologist up there and a scout to see what's going on. Oh, and I'll speed the game up a bit. So, yes, I'm afraid there are always going to be parts in the game where we just sort of sit and wait. But that's all right, isn't it? Because in those moments, we get to just look at what's going on. Look at the little trees. Look at the little, I don't know, tent. It's quite nice, I suppose. There's a man carrying a bucket of water. That's quite nice. What I want to see is a fisherman. I haven't seen him doing any fishermaning yet. Why would one microwave tea, says the DLC guy. Well, your answer is as follows. I've been streaming for 1 hour and 17 minutes, at the beginning of which, you may recall if you were there, I made myself a cup of tea. That self-same cup of tea has gone undrunk this whole time, except for the first few sips and slurps. So now I needed it heating up. Hello, Silvadim K! Silvadim. Come on, fisherman, where are you? I want to see you fish. Did you hear that? I just got a message.
He was retweeting me.
Ah, it was Abby retweeting me. She's retweeting that it's settling time, although it's not going to be settling time for much longer.
Oh, I think we can go a bit longer. Nice.
What's that, sorry?
I think we can go a bit longer. Give me time to make a cup of tea.
Alright then, let's have some other Amiga music. Yeah. This isn't the Settlers, though. This is just Amiga music. In general. Do 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 do. Yeah. Oh, geologists have found granny deposits in the mountains. This will provide a fresh supply of knitting for the time being. Great. I mean, I've got loads of stone, so I don't know what we need that for. Construction of our first grain farm has been completed. The grain can either be processed into flour in a mill, or used to feed pigs. The food supply situation should now continue to improve. Great. Let's feed some pigs with it. Can we do that yet? Let's have a mill, either way. Yes, we can have pig farms now. Oh yeah! Oh, I'm supposed to make a mint. Did I ever do it? Is that an iron smelter there? Yes, and the iron armory. Okay, great. Well, up here, I can have a mint. Where shall I have it? There, maybe? Listen to this. This is not music from a game. This is just music because people used to use the Amiga to make music just because it was cool. It's just really good at that job. Ah, I didn't mean that. Yeah, Amiga was just a computer that was good for making music with, and so this person here has done that, and we're listening to it. Ruo says, Ruo Mizadaka says, this game looks really interesting. Is it a strategy type game? Yes, it is. It's the Settlers 2. And what I'm doing is I'm just building a working economy I'm building a... I hate that I just said that. Those words came out of my mouth. What I'm doing is I'm building a lovely little village. And all the little people in it have lovely little jobs, and we get to watch them do it all. And yes, there's strategy to it. But I'm not very good at that. I just like looking at all the little blokies. Oh, there's lots of gold in these mountains. Let's have more. Oh yes, and a granite mine we need as well. I don't know why we need that, but apparently we do. Oh, whoops. He's not connected anymore, silly. If you've seen games like Age of Empires or Anno, they all came out of this. Age of Myth, of course. Age of Myth basically did what we've been hoping for ages, which is, hey, what if we did this but added magic? Are you streaming something else after this? No, just this, and then having my dinner. Sebastian Avila says, I love the videos you do with Brent. Thank you. Kyrie says, I never heard a show I'd actually like to go and see until he filters in on Forbidden Planet because I get bored by just sitting and listening. Oh, Kyrie, there's so much more to theatre than that. But honestly, Planet is it is actually a good first one. Does anyone else think this game's objectively really beautiful? As in, without needing to be mitigated by for its time? Yes, I do, Kieran, and just you wait. Just you wait, because we're going to be seeing some later examples of games in this series. I mean, when I get sick of this, I'm having a good time playing Settlers 2 at the moment. Just the loveliness of it just ramps up and up and up. Our scouts have discovered a strange object. It looks like a gateway. We are obviously not the first humans on this island. They've even found an inscription on the gateway in Latin. It is bizarre and contradictory. Perhaps it is a riddle. Consiste ut procederus. Settle down in order to make progress. What can this mean? Have they? Where have our scouts found such a thing? Ooh. There it is. Oh, I like this tune. Sebastian Avila says that I'm one of the greatest YouTubers they've ever seen. That seems unlikely. There's lots of really good ones. Thanks, though. Beep 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 beep. This is some nice settling, says Ian McQuish. How are you, Dave? I always forget. It's McQuish, right? I'm all right, thanks very much. I've had a good day today. I was out at my writing cafe doing some writing. I did some good writing. I did a good chunk. I'm sort of one scene towards the end of or away from the end of a bit. Boop, beep, boop, 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 boop. What's this music again? Bidiloo. It's just called Nearly There, ... by Jogir... Oh god, I don't know how to pronounce that at all. Doof, 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 be doof, boopy doof. Kairu says, I miss original computer music as a thing. That kind of stopped in the early 2000s, but I still have some nice MIDI original compositions. Now music's just kind of music. Everyone has access to roughly professional level tools. Yeah, I know. Well, then you might be interested in listening to... Oh, wait. I was about to say scenemusic.net, but it's... The website is gone. Yeah. Tell you what, I'll just post the link myself. Scenemusic.net it's Nectarine Radio, where they play this sort of thing that you're listening to now. In fact, that's where I first heard this. It's a rolling 24-hour scene music radio station that just plays Amiga music, C64 music, not from games, just that people have made, like this. There's a stream of it. Plug that into your music player and enjoy. Oh, Ryan Polton saw Spamalot. I'm told that's good. I haven't seen it. Because I'm a bit worried it'll just be like, hey, remember this joke that you used to tell when you were 12 over and over again from Monty Python? Here it is again! So, you know, I've sort of steered clear for that reason, but I shouldn't have done, because... Oh, the windmill can supply a baker with sufficient flour for baking bread, yes. And I believe I've built one, yes. But where shall I put my baker? Because the obvious answer is there, but I kind of don't want to because I don't want to get in the way of this farmer. Oh look, he seems fine. Bakery. There we go. Wagyu says, check out slayradio.org too. They play Commodore 64 SIDs and remixes of said SIGs. I will. Thank you, Wags. Slayradio.org. There we go. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, you know, that's what I'm worried about, really, the references part. Like, aha, a reference, a Monty Python reference. And like, yeah, every Monty Python reference was extremely irritatingly overdone by the time I was 12 years old. But, whatever. Boof doof boof dee boof dee boof dooby doof. Let's get rid of that road. That's just in the way of the farm. Ooh! Oh, I don't recognise this bit. I must have heard this far before. But never in my headphones. My headphones are suffering at the moment. I bought quite good headphones. I've got... What have I got? I've got HD... No. Superlux HD 668B headphones. which are like, they're not like, you know, super good studio grade headphones, but they're sort of like what you buy if you aren't rich, but you still want headphones that you can go like, yes, I have good headphones. And they're good, and they sounded absolutely great, and I had such a great time, like, honestly rediscovering music that I thought I knew inside out. And then something's gone wrong with my computer, something's gone wrong with the motherboard, and now, if I have my headphones plugged in, which I currently do, the sound distorts terribly. It clips, unless I turn it down to, like, half or so. And it never used to do that. That's happened recently. Because my usual setup is that I've got the one line out plug on the back of my computer along with the surround sound ones, but I don't have surround speakers for my computer because I don't have the sort of room that would allow it. Unless they were wired. No, even then I don't. So I just have normal stereo speakers or 2.1 speakers or whatever. And so I keep I have a stereo splitter, headphone splitter coming out of that line out plug in the back with my speakers plugged into one side and my headphones, or rather an extension cord leading to my headphones, plugged into the other. And this has been absolutely fine for ages. But now it's got to where, yeah, if I plug my headphones in, the sound drops. I wonder if will this come across on the stream? I'm going to unplug my headphones now and let's see if the sound jumps up, like in volume. Here we go. Did it? I'm going to plug them back in again now and the sound would go down again. Did it? I'm going to do it a few times. Did you hear anything? If not, then that's a piece of the puzzle. But if you did, then whatever. Anyway, but I'm pretty sure it's just an output to the speakers thing and headphones. Anyway, what am I on about? Yeah, anyway, it seems like what I need to do to fix this, I mean, unless I'm prepared to just buy a new motherboard, which, it's going to happen soon, but let's avoid that if possible, is to buy a sound card, which I don't own one of, and perhaps I ought to by now. So I'm going to have to buy a sound card for about 40 quid, plug it into my computer, and that'll have a built-in headphone amplifier, which I believe is different than just being able to plug your headphones in and listen to it. I don't understand the difference. I mean, it sounds like it would make them louder, but maybe it would do more. I don't know. Be nice to try it out either way. So soon I'm going to do that, and then I'll be able to listen to everything again and be like, yeah, this sounds great. Like my Return to the Forbidden Planet cast album. Yeah. At the moment, I have to listen to everything all quiet. No change in sound level there. Interesting. Oh, PSP bought the same headphones. Yes, Wagyu did indeed make me buy those, and he was correct too. Thank you, Wagyu. They're so good that I hate my normal headphones, which is a shame because it means I now can't listen to music while I'm out. Because I can't take these headphones with me. A, they're gigantic, and B, for some reason they highlight the fact that my iPod Classic outputs sound at an extremely low volume. And there's nothing one can do about that. Mind you, my phone doesn't, but I could go through all the process of putting all my music on my phone, because I have got a decent sized card in it, but there's nothing to organise the music with in as good a way as my iPod did, you know? Plus it doesn't have any physical buttons on it. I'd have to get special headphones with the buttons halfway up, and, well, these headphones aren't that. So, real shame. You made me an audiophile, Wagyu! I'll never forgive you, and also, I'm really thankful. Well, there we are. We've had a lot of building, haven't we? It must be time to do something else by now. What have we got? We've got our wheat farm down here. Oh, that's right. I'm building this bakery. That's the next project. Let's speed time up a bit. Oh, let's have a look at some of these messages. Except let's not bother. Oh, it's right though. I've not saved in a while, so let's do that. No autosave in those days. This was 1997. Or was it 1996? Could have been 96. Could have been 95. I got it in 97. Oh, by the way, look what's going on down here. Oh, not that. This. We've got donkeys. That doesn't look much like a donkey, it just looks like a sort of mess. But there, look, there's a donkey. I imagine they'll look more donkeyish when they start taking things back and forth. Here it goes. Donkey, 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 donkey. A donkey, donkey, donk, donk, donkey, donk. Donk, donkey, donk, donk, donkey, donkey, donk, 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 donkey, donk, 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 plop. Here's some settling going on. Look over here at the windmill. There's the miller, who's gone to sleep outside the windmill. Baker doesn't seem to be doing anything. Why? Does he have... Oh, it's unoccupied. Oh, well, here he is. Look, here comes a baker. With his rolling pin, like always. And he's got some flour, but he hasn't got any water. So what we'll do is... we'll send a geologist out again. And that geologist might find some water around here. Meanwhile, here's our little farmer. Our little farmer. It's the time of the year to be corn reaping. O-ar, o-ar, o-ar. O-ar, o-ar, o-ar. That's his song. Oh, we can have another fisherman up here, can't we? That'd be nice. Lots of lovely castle places here, but we don't need one. I wish I could write music as well as this bloke. All the tunes you've been hearing are all by the same bloke. Jog-ear, not jug-ears. Hello, Tiger Tales TV. Well, it'll be on. You'll be able to watch it back on. Oh, you won't, because this is my main YouTube channel. Perhaps I'll make it. Perhaps I shall make it live on my main YouTube channel. As a sort of promotion for my games channel, Bulma Boops Buttons. Or maybe I'll just download the VOD and upload it to Bulma Boops Buttons. That would presumably lose quality, wouldn't it? Oh, the music's very quiet, apparently. Let's try turning it up a bit. How about now? Can you still hear me over it? Oh, somebody asked... PS3 TNA 157 asked who my favourite comedians are. I'm really not sure I can answer that. I'll have to think about it. Wagyu says, I think it's because the motherboard plug only has so much voltage and the splitter divides that between two devices. You can get a small powered headphone amp to drive them harder. Well, you see, that's what I assumed it was, or a version of that. I wouldn't have been able to say it in words, but I thought, oh, there's only so much electricity and it has to go down both things. But the thing is, it didn't used to do it. That's the thing. Or if it did, it was imperceptible. I used to be able to plug my headphones in and, you know, maybe there was a change in volume, but like this is like, it like drops by half. And when I plug them in, it clips if I'm anything above 70% volume. So yeah, it's definitely broken as well in some way. Yes, the DS version of Settlers 2. Famously not a good game, as I understand it. Oh, I see, Wagyu. Proper headphones need more ohms, which is why you need a headphone amp. Got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it, got it. I've never understood listening to music while out of the house, says Kairu. If I'm out of the house, I have a task to accomplish before going back to the house. I don't need distraction. Well, yes, but it's for like, if you're... I mean, so for example, it's about a 45-minute walk from here, from my house to town, which is, you know, sometimes I'm going to make that walk if I don't want to pay for a bus or whatever. And, you know, a 45-minute walk, that's a nice healthy walk, isn't it? That's the least you should do, really. Obviously, it's not how much I do, but if I did, I'd be extremely healthy. And there you go, that's when. You pop your playlist on. Favourite album, off you go. Yeah, Wagyu? That sounds interesting. I do have one put aside that I'm thinking of getting. Let's see what you think about it. Manco likes it. In fact, I think he said it's his favourite cheap one. Have I saved the tab, though? Where is it? Oh, there it is. It is... Come on. Come on. It is the Asus Zonar, Xonar, DGX. And it's only got the one headphone socket, and it's 32 quid. If you're saying I can get a better one than that for 20, or 25, then I'm interested. But, I don't know, I already happened to find it, and Manco was going like, oh, I'll find you a link to my favourite one. And I said, okay, at the moment I've found this. And he was like, that's the one. I'm not quite sure exactly what about it he likes. He did explain, but I just didn't understand. No, it's a, hang on. It's an actual internal thing. There you go. Oh, I see. Oh, you mean something other than it's an external box that plugs in via USB, do you? You mean computer words, said by computer people. I actually don't know if I've got the slots required for that, because remember, well, you know very well, I've got a network card already plugged in there, and if that's the slot that it needs on the motherboard, then that's no good, is it? So yeah, send me a look. Hang on, I'll open the old haunt Wagyu, and you can send me a link to what you're talking about. Well, exactly, Wagyu. I mean, you know, the network and now sound bits of my motherboard have broken, and I imagine they're not all supposed to do that. Okay, what's our situation at the moment? Oh, here's a baker doing some baking, is he? Yeah, look, he's waiting outside the oven for some bread. He's going to want some water, isn't he? Oh, that's right, I already sent a geologist out to look for some. And if the geologist was of any use, it was at a time when I wasn't paying enough attention. It'd be ideal if there was some water there. Let's see if there is. There goes the baker. He's made something. He's going to drop some bread. Oh, no, he's not. He didn't make any bread. Oh, he did. He just went in to get it for some reason. There we go. Oh, this music goes with this quite nicely. And also it sounds a little bit Fantastic Dizzy-ish. Not the guitar, but the other noise. Look at all these wasted settlers. Why have I got these flags? Get rid. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. That sounds like the beginning of nights. Into dreams. Well, everything's rolling along quite nicely. Water found, yes. Right, well, there we go. Not sure what else we're really meant to be doing. Let's see what buildings we've got, in case I've forgotten something that the tutorial told me. No, got all that. Oh, I love Amigas. Listen to this. Yeah! Such a unique sound as well. Okay, so I think we just sort of wait for things to poople along, really. Oh, here's a fisherman! Oh, I missed him. Oh, I know, I'm supposed to go to this. Of course. What am I like? What a wally, what a ninny. And am I a ninny? Yes. Look at it, look at it, look at this lovely settler's world. Aren't they sweet? We have a message from Loki Shade, who's also here, but doesn't have a YouTube, account, so can't actually say hello in the chat. By the way, look, I quite like this. Look how when you get enough roads crossing, or maybe it's just if it's the crossroads are used a certain amount, you get a special flag, special gilted, gold-edged flag there. I didn't do anything to make these roads, stone roads, with donkeys travelling on them. They did that themselves. Ooh, that's my mint. Ooh, lovely. Have we got any gold in there? Yes, but we also need something else. I think it's coal. So, there's a coal mine there. I'm not really sure what the problem is, but let's try looking for coal. See if there's any more that we might use in the mint. See, Settlers is supposedly one of these games where everything is dependent on everything else. You know, so like, we've got mines, but they need certain kinds of food. So, we've got a bakery, but that needs a mill, but that needs a wheat farm. You know, that sort of thing. There's these little chains that feed one another. What mood are you in, Abby? Are we back to Prime Suspect tonight? Sorry? You don't have to if you don't want to. We've been watching some crimes. Prime Suspect is all on Netflix. But then the other day we were like, life's stressful enough without crimes, you know? Whoa! Cool. That's a dramatic one. Aha! Plenty of coal everywhere, but where shall I build my coal mine? That's the closest I can get it to the gold stuff. We'll have to do. nearly there, we're nearly there. I think this last barracks ought to do it. So we're more or less there then. This has been level 1 of the Settlers 2. It's introduced us to all the main concepts. Level 2, though, I suspect, is the one that I actually want, and is the actual reason why I've been playing this. Well, that's right. This is a bit snowman-y, isn't it? Apparently, it was a mistake. Joggear didn't realise that he'd picked this tune up from anywhere else. But he had. He made that strange noise. Come on. Someone deliver him the wood he needs. Where's the chat? I've lost the chat. Okay, I've now found the chat. Do you like Mario Sunshine? Referring there to the time I made fun of it in one of my videos with Brent. Yeah, it's alright. Not really, but I don't hate it or anything, but it caused me the most aggravation out of any of the games in the series, because you just, I think part of the joy of Mario is getting to the end of a level and then seeing the next one. And, like, you don't really get to do that in Sunshine. You know, there's only 8 levels and you have to keep going back. And it's like, oh, give me a rest. You know? Sebastian says, I remember every single moment of me playing that game for the GameCube, and I love that you read people's comments. Oh, well. No problem. Max is not over how clever people could be with the sampling on the Amiga. Yeah, I know. How do you win the game? Well, it's different depending on what level you're on. This one, we get to this, and I'm nearly there. Yeah, Wag, I was talking about the sort of noise. And I had a look at I've actually got the video that I'm playing with this music on, as you get to see Pro Tracker, and it's like every single line had a different sample playing at a different note, so it's like it's actually made up of loads of different samples by the looks of things. What is the name of this track? It is by Jogeir, Jogeir, and it is called Signia. Wait, is it? It might be called Signia, or it might be Guitar Slinger. No, it's Signia. I know what Guitar Slinger is. What's your favourite soundtrack in video games? Oh, that's a bit much. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm not sure what my favourite... There's so many. Here we go. He's going to move into his hut, and then... We've got it. Second day of the 13th month after coming ashore. The second year began yesterday, and we seem to have succeeded in settling the island. The scouts report strange goings-on near the gateway. It appears that a path has opened up that can lead us from this island. This seems to be the meaning of the riddle. We must settle in order to move on. We shall take a look. Perhaps all roads really do lead to Rome. And we enter the gate. Oh, and we're dumped onto the menu. But now, you see, now I can play level 2. Actually, I could already play up to level 4. Never mind. Let's imagine, shall we? Hey. Initial contact. There we go. That's going to be the one where it teaches me how to fight. And that is what I need to know. That is what I need to know. So that will be our next stream. And so, we're basically done. You'd quite like Mario 3D World then, Dave? Yes, I imagine I would. You know, obviously I don't have a Wii U. But, because, you know. But, I know people who do, so perhaps I could play it on theirs. I never played Megalomania. You could well be right. There were some Dino Bones. Yes, there were. Plus, Iridium and Impacted Quartz. Okay, I think that's us for today. I'm going to go away. We're going to make our dinners. And then, you know, I'll see you another time. But probably I'll see you another time on Twitch. So go and not subscribe. Go and follow, or whatever the word is for when you don't have to pay me any money. Twitch.tv/DemonTomatoDave. Or, you know, Twitter.com/DemonTomatoDave. I always announce them there as well. And that's where you'll see more of this on other occasions. And if you want to see the previous episodes of this, although they basically cover the same ground, but if you liked it and found it relaxing and you just want more of that while you, I don't know, try and go to sleep, a lot of people like to have gentle videos while they go to sleep, then you'll find those on Bulmer Boops Buttons, which is my gaming channel here on YouTube. Right, so, see you again to PS3 TNA 157, to Trashy Bashy, to Beluga Tunes, to Sebastian, and to everybody else, of course, but they specifically said goodbye. Chris Hulsbeck made the best soundtracks to the Amiga. Let me find out which ones those were. Chris Hulsbeck. I definitely know the name. Ah, Turrican R-Type. That bloke. Right, well, yes, anyway, bye then, and I shall see you anon. I shall see you on another occasion, and we'll all have a lovely time. Hello, Thomas David. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm afraid so. But if you keep this URL for the... You keep this, you know, the URL for this video in your tab, you will be able to watch it from the beginning. So you might do that if you wish. There'll be more, don't worry. Bye! Oh, gosh. Do I detect a certain scent of fun being had in one of the surrounding apartments? You can detect that as well, can you, Abby? Oh dear, well, I better go before we start having vicarious fun ourselves. Bye! Wow.